Hello, my name is Apple of Doom and welcome to another Geometry Dash building video. In the last episode, we worked on this interior castle section over here and added a lot more details. Now in this episode, I hope to add a lot more details in it as well, but there's something I really want to do before we get into that. So I've mentioned before about adding in flags, and I think this set of flags is what we're going to finally use in the castle. So I'm going to have them as banners in the background and the flags across the tops of the castles and everything, and I think it will look great. The other thing we've got to talk about is the name of the level. Now this level's kind of gone unnamed for quite some time now. I've just called it okay, I guess, and I've made a couple jokes about it. But now that I'm over halfway through creating it, I really want to give it a name that will be kind of iconic. This is the best level I've ever made so far, and I really want this to be something special. So I really want to name it something special. So I put a couple posts out on Twitter, Reddit, and Discord, and I got a lot of names and suggestions from you guys. So I'm putting on screen now all the names of the levels that were given to me, or the ones that I really thought stood out. You'll notice there's a lot of names with the word fortress and stronghold in them, and I think it would be a good idea to go over what all those sort of words actually mean. So the four I've picked out from these are castle, fortress, bastion, and citadel. So to determine what the level actually is, I looked up the definitions for each of them. I found that a castle is the private residence of a person of power, so like a king or a queen or a noble or that sort of thing. Especially with the new part I've just built, you'll notice that I'm trying to put in a lot of homely things like tables, chairs, bookshelves, greenery. I had cellar doors in there as well, stained glass windows. Those are all kind of emblematic of a castle, and I believe that's what the structure I'm working on is. It could also be a fortress though. Fortresses are just castles that are more heavily fortified. However, I haven't added any fortifications to this, so it technically counts as a fortress, but I guess not so much. You'll notice there was another suggestion for bastion, which is a shorter jutted out bit of a castle wall that usually has armaments on it, but you'll notice there aren't really any bastions here, so I don't think I should go with that name. And the other one is citadel, which comes from the words for little city, which is a large fortified town, ironically, that's like inside another town. And that structure can be a castle or a fortress, but you'll notice in the background that all the castles kind of sit on their own with no real towns around them, so I don't think I could consider this a citadel. So that being said, I believe I should go with a name that has either castle or fortress in it. Some ones that stick out a little bit more than the others are Floating Cathedral, which I really liked, because the song name, if you didn't know, is Floating by Waterflame. So I think that would be a really cool callback to that, although the level very clearly is not a cathedral, so I might tweak that a little bit. The other one is Cloud Kingdom, which, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but I feel like it's a little basic, and it just reminds me of Super Mario Odyssey, you know, the Cloud Kingdom in that. There are three that are very similar, being City in the Sky, Across the Skies, and Along the Ramparts. Now, City in the Sky sounds awesome, but a little too basic. Across the Skies reminds me of a demon level. I forget what it's called, but it sounds something like Across the Skies. And Along the Ramparts makes a lot of sense because in the second section, you do actually go along the ramparts, but that's only for one section of the level, and I don't think it's emblematic of it as a whole. Now, I don't know if I'm reading too much into this, but like, I want this to be special, so I'm really nitpicking the hell out of everything here. However, after considering my options, I believe the best name for this, and I'm gonna put it in right now, is Castle in the Clouds. Now, I said that it was very similar to City in the Sky. There's a song name, I believe, called Castle in the Sky, but Castle in the Clouds, you don't really hear that phrase very often. It's unique enough, and I think it encapsulates all the parts of this level very well. This is all in the clouds. Clouds are a huge theme of this, and it is definitely a castle in the clouds. So I think I'm sticking with that. Finally, after all this time, we have an actual name for my level. I'd like to thank everyone who submitted a name. It really helps stir my inspiration, and I wouldn't have been able to come up with the name without you guys' suggestions. So thank you very much. Now, on to the building. In the last episode, we created sort of these objects, and I want to continue them across here. But first, I left this structure kind of incomplete, and what I need to do is add it in. I got no suggestions on what I should do, so I came up with my own idea, because I'm just original like that. It's going to be to have kind of these sort of structures going diagonally and sort of crates surrounding it. So maybe this is like a storage area or like a storage room. I think that could be an interesting idea. So I'm going to create a bunch of these. I'm also going to add a wooden backing to them, because if you'll notice, I haven't added wooden backings to all of these. I kind of wanted them to be hollow kind of wooden structures. So I'll do this sort of thing, I reckon. I've got the pieces of glow in here that I can use. I'll move this up a little bit. It doesn't look quite right. There's an extra piece of glow in here. Also, some of the pieces are darker than the others. Am I going crazy? What is happening there? Oh, they just are darker than the others. That's strange. Anyways, that should fix it. Now we've got these lovely wooden box structures. What I'm gonna do is move this up here for later use. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna rotate it 45 degrees. That really doesn't look right, does it? Yeah, I don't think I actually like that. So what I'm gonna do instead is just have it as these kind of wooden planks coming up, and then I'm gonna have kind of another wooden structure holding it up. I think that'll make it look a bit nicer. So I'll take what I've made of this. Maybe if I do something like this where it kind of goes behind it a little bit. Yeah, it looks decent, I guess. Man, I can't say it looks okay, I guess, anymore, can I? That really sucks. There we go. So I can do that, and then I can copy this down to next time it kind of intercepts, which is here. And then I can copy this again. There we go. That kind of looks like a ramp structure. And I can take these kind of cross support pieces, and then I'll have to figure out how I want to do this. Because I can't have them diagonal, otherwise it looks strange, right? Okay, I'm going to push this to a different layer. Let's push this to layer 8. This is just rough, but if I do something like that, does that kind of look structured enough? Obviously, these pieces aren't quite aligned as they should be. Yeah, I think that actually quite works if I just get rid of like this kind of weird intermediate part. All right, there's the rough structure put in. Kind of looks like a roller coaster now that I look at it, but whatever, it's fine. I don't think there's any slope pieces that have that kind of wooden design to them. Yeah, because there were no slopes added in 2.1 for some reason, I don't think. Yep, which means I can't really make these into slopes, which sucks. That's fine, because what I think I'll do is have these as kind of crates that are in the background, maybe some here, some here. Because I've also got to make it so that you can't touch the ground, but I want to do that in a kind of organic way. I did not set a start position, because currently there's really no consequence for just like falling off here. I should probably put some things here that block it off. Oh, because I don't have it here either. Silly me. So now that it's impossible to land down here, there's no point in having these invisible structures. If there's nothing to hold, there we go. So now if you go down here, cannot continue. But I'll place something else down there so that you can't go across there, but I'm not quite sure what I should put, especially in this area. But I know I'll definitely put some crates here or something. I'm gonna have to come up with some sort of spike design to go on the ground, and some sort of spike design to go here as well, I guess, and some sort of spike design to go on the roof. There's too many spike designs to think of. Yeesh. I guess I should try and clearly define the rooms, because this is very clearly one room here, right? And then you go into this area that's, I guess this is more of a storage room, so I can have this as storage or something and have barrels. Ooh, I'll put barrels in the background here. That's a great idea. And I kept talking about having kind of like a living area, so we'll make this living area. We'll have some dining tables and stuff here, and then we'll make this the storage area where all the crates and barrels and other random crap are. I think that might be a good way of approaching it. If I take these designs from earlier, would I be able to stack these one on top of the other? If I shrink it a little bit, absolutely. All right, the bottom of this block will be where I have to shrink it to. Actually, no, I'm just completely wrong. What I should be doing is determining how tall this structure is. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Divide that in 2, that's 2.25, which is quite annoying. 1, 2.25. Whoa. Now what I can do is line the tops of that up, move that up a little bit, and then I can take all this and simply move it up a little bit. At least I hope it's that simple. Overshoots a little bit, which is fine. I can just readjust this. There we go. And now we have our 2.5 box structure. Move this to 15, and this will be our backing. It looks a little cluttered. I'm gonna have to sort out how everything's laid here. All right, how does that end up looking? Very cluttered and confusing. That's how that ends up looking. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to layer this properly, and that's gonna be an absolute nightmare. At least for now, we can hide this, and then I can add these pieces I added in the last episode to go over the top of these, and you can't rotate them. That's good to know. Actually, I want the ones from over here, and then boom, that's done. How I'm gonna fix this is I'm gonna do some shenanigans with the layering, and then I think I'm gonna add a black glow behind this structure that juts out here. I also think it might actually be a good idea to extend this all the way down to here, because that way it looks like a structure on top of another structure. However, I've got to layer it properly, and then for a little bit of extra detail, I can warp this right to the edge of that, so it looks like this structure is going over that structure, and I think that's how I want to approach it. I think I want this structure to be below this one. All right, these will be T2, and they go over this. Oh no, that's an easy fix. I can just select all of these and now make these T4, and they'll go over everything now, which includes this, but that'll be fine. This whole front area, I'm gonna have to fix up later in the episode. I'm putting it off because I am lazy, but now I've messed up the lettering on this again. what I'm gonna do now is add a dark glow. This will be B1 like 20, so it's below all this structure. The effect is a little strong, but oh my god, does it help out. I was wondering why it looked a little strange. I don't have them on these straight parts. It looks a little dark in some areas. Okay, I'm gonna set it back down a little bit more just to see how it looks now. Yeah, I think that kind of works. There we go. Now this whole section here should have a bit of depth. And I'm really hoping it just doesn't look stupid. Oh god, it goes over the background. It does look stupid. This is not good. This is really not good. Okay, I can fix this. Hopefully that should fix it. I'm really hoping that fixes it. Yeah, I think that's fixed it. Actually, that looks pretty decent. With that out of the way, I think I can work on some other details now, like adding in a massive table and things here. It looks really weird with this cutting off here. So what I'm thinking of doing is extending this out one more and then adding another layer of this over here. Actually, you know what? I reckon I can go even one more. So now this will extend quite a bit further, and that way I can add in a spike over here. I'll just try and match it to the best of my ability to the color used. It needs some other detail on it, but if I add something like this, it just looks stupid. I wish there was a way to just take the corners of these and warp them in like that, but you can't really do that. You can do that, but that doesn't help. I can do that, that doesn't help either. If I turn down the brightness of these a little, it fits in a bit better. I think I might take these objects, just kind of warp it so it fits it. Maybe if I take this glow piece up to like here, and then really go nuts, it could give off a cool effect. You know what? I'll add the little plinky sparkly thing onto it. There we go. Nice big plinky sparkly. Blah, 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 blah. Although you can see the edge of this, and I'm not too fond of that. What I could do is like warp it like this. That's a little too much warp. Okay, I think that'll fit it pretty decently. Yay, and the glow doesn't overspill it. Let's go. Now that that's all gone, I'm gonna move a topiary pot over here. I guess they're not really topiary, they're just potted plants. And now that all fits nicely. That leaves this area open, and you know to jump there. And I don't think there's a way you can get over it. Like, no matter how well I time it, I don't think you can actually make over it without flipping your gravity. Although I'm timing it terribly at the moment. Wow, even there, that's crazy. This is some rigorous testing I'm doing. Yeah, that's pretty darn close. Yeah, I don't think it's actually possible to jump and not hit this. Which, just to be safe, I'm gonna do this and then hide it. What I think I could do as well is, so you know I added these designed chain thingies to here. I can just do that with the portals. If I go here, I remove everything this was on, and boom, chained portal. I really hope that looks decent when I like play it in normal mode. It does look decent. Let's go! There's some other things I've been thinking about it as well. There's a couple of things going on that need to be turned off, I think, which includes this, because I've got layer 3 moving down. What happens if I just outright toggle it off? Will that break anything? That's what I want to know. It doesn't seem to have broken anything. I don't even know what layer 3 is actually connected to. Is it just this? There's a big piece of sun glare I have somewhere. Like, if I play it in normal mode, you'll notice at the top left corner, there's a piece of like sun glow that goes over everything. It's a little hard to notice, but it's definitely there, and I have no idea what layer that's on or what it's doing. All right, I got it selected. Go to layer 14, 19, 38. I think I'm just going to toggle off 38. I think I'm going to make everything toggle off at this portal here. So 3 and 38, toggle them off, and then hopefully that should make everything cleaner. Although instead I'm going to make 3 fade out. All right, and so this bottom little fog piece should, no. Why? Oh, because I set it at 100%. I'm stupid, that's why. Oh, there we go. And now the interior looks a lot cleaner. Man, that looks so much cleaner. Oh my god. Huge improvement. Because I think one of the problems I'm having is making everything clear. Like, I've had people complain that the blur is too strong. So I might go through and tone the blur down again, maybe a little later. I really got to make sure my effects are all in place. Because at the moment, there's actually no filters or anything on this. On the entire rest of the level, no matter how it looks, there's actually no filter applied over the top of it. But I've had people saying that it looks like there's filters applied over the top of it. So I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or as an insult or like what. All right, now that we've kind of determined the space that this all takes place in, I think it's time to add in the table that's going to stretch across here. I kind of prefer the smoother look of the benches. I think this looks more table-like, but I'll add in the glow pieces that I added to my custom pieces of wood. There we go. I think that looks pretty all right. And I'll have to extend this out as well, but I've got to figure out what the height of the table should be. Maybe this height's big enough. In that case, I've got to figure out the length as well. I think it should probably span the length of both these chandeliers, maybe even longer. But It's going to be longer. It's going to look weird if it's this thin. So I'm going to extend that out like that. I'll add this to group 171, which is our invisibility link layer. So no matter how wide I stretch this, it'll still stay on screen. There we go. That's our table. And then for the legs, I'll probably need one of these sort of pieces of wood. I think that looks like a table. These look a little scrimply bimply, so I'm gonna widen these up a bit, also lower them a bit, and also widen them a bit, and also do all matter of things to them a bit. Yeah, now that looks like a table. I just want to make sure that everything lines up. Alright, onto the chairs. For the chairs, I looked up like a medieval style of chair, and so I might try and replicate something that kind of looks like it. Medieval chairs seem to have their legs point in like this. Maybe not, maybe a little bit less. And then that's our chair leg. Make it 19 like the rest of them. And I'll make it face forward first. I think it'll be easy to make it facing forward, and then I can make the side profile after. And then I can do this sort of thing. Why can I not grab the one in the middle? Look at that. What is happening here? Huh? Hello? Okay, there we go. Then I can grab this, and this will become the backing to the chair. I want this to be tall chair. I think that's a decent height for it, actually. There, something like that. What if I put this in by just a little bit, scale it up like that? I'm not sure if I want this to be a cushioned back or something like that. I think I might do this and then put like little wood streaks in it. Because yeah, I'm liking the look of it from the front. Might even do a little bit of a decorative top as well. Oh, you know how they have these little like bauble things on top? Those like old-timey chairs. Yeah, look at that. Kind of makes it look like Mickey Mouse, but like whatever. And then what I'll do is I'll make, I don't know, like a top like this. There we go. Looks interesting. I need to figure out what layer this is on. This is on T1 -7. I think I'm going to make all the chair B1. I'm going to make all these kind of wood pieces in front. B120. Let's go with that. And then because of that, I can push this behind and it won't look unnatural. There we go, like that. Oh, it looks pretty fancy. And then what I can do is I can take these pieces once again. I'll warp it down a bit and then make this 19 and maybe slightly brighter. Not quite. No, that blends in too much. To make it slightly darker. Does that look like a fancy old-timey chair? Possibly. What I think I might do is take these pieces, make them B115, say, and then add the little bit of brightness from before. And then I think what I'll do is I'll rotate it around a point like that, and then put it in the middle like that. There we go. Now we have this kind of fancy little doohickey. Okay, I'm getting rid of that circle because it's one of the objects that's layered wrong, unfortunately. There we go. That adds a little bit of fanciness to it. How does that look in context? Pretty decent. It just needs some shading, I reckon. All right, to do the shading, I'll do it in a similar way to what I've done with everything else, where you just kind of line it up like this, and then I can warp it in. There we go. And look how much depth that gives. It's crazy. It's life-changing. It's not life-changing. And then I can add this here for a bit of added depth. I'll make it a bit lighter than I did with the other one. Yes! I think that little bit of shading goes real hard. Hell yeah. The only thing I'll do is add the same shading underneath this part. There we go. That looks like an old-timey chair. And then for these little ball things to make them 3D, what you can do is take this tiny little piece of glow, scale it all the way down like that. There we go. And it gives a lot more depth, I reckon. Cool. And so that's our chair design. And then what I can do is have a couple of them dotted around. There we go. That's the backing chair. To get the side profile, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is take these parts, do that, bring this in a little bit, and lean this back. Then what I can do with this one in particular, I can move it back a layer, make this darker. There we go. Push the chair in, although it looks a little not wide enough. So if I just do this, there we go. Now I've got our table design, and I can put all sorts of different things on here, like, I don't know, little bits of food and plates and maybe a candelabra, if you know what that is. So let's add a candelabra. I'm trying to make a more gothic styled one. It can go in between these two chairs because it's 4 chairs in a row. I think that'll work. So they usually have a bit of a base plate, which I think I'll use this piece for. And I'll make it color 40. I like color 40. I think I'll try and make it big and then I'll just warp it down to size. I think is probably the best way to go about it. It looks pretty ornate. There we go. I think that's pretty nice looking. And then what I can do is just simply take this from here. I should probably make this all the same layer. All right, there's our candelabra. I think that looks quite ornate and majestic. And what I can do is shrink it down. Probably about that size is good. That looks quite nice, actually. The only thing I'd say is that the candles are a little too tall. There we go. I think that's a lot more in proportion. That's a nice looking candelabra. I think that's how you pronounce it. If it's not, I'm gonna be honest, I don't care. I think I should add the tiniest little hint of shading. God, this is a nightmare to line up. Oh, everything's so small. All right, and then this shading will go underneath these parts. That just adds like a tiny little bit of depth. I think I could probably make these ones a little lighter. But other than that, I think that's pretty good. I'll make a little chicken for it. So I'll make a bowl first. I reckon to do that, I'll use this piece and just warp it down like that. There we go, and that's our bowl. Actually, I don't want it to be a bowl, I want it to be a plate. So I might do something like that. That's made it very thin. Oh my god. There we go, the world's shittest little plate. Doesn't really matter. I'll start off by making it large like I did with the other one. I'm probably gonna have to use a new color that's kind of like an orangey. How does roast chicken look? Is that a roast chicken color? I don't know, it's kind of like this weird reddish orange. Maybe a bit more orange than that. That looks raw as hell and not in a good way. Okay, we'll go with that for now, and then I'll just fill it out with circles, I reckon. It has the little neck. Cool, and then it's got the drumstick and wings, which I think I'll make it another layer just so I can control it more easily. All that is doing kind of this sort of shape. All right, cool, that's that. And then for the drumstick, it's like this large oval, whatever, we'll go with that. Looks kind of ridiculous. So I think the way we'll layer it is this goes above the table, and then what I can do is over the top of this add some darker glow pieces, though I think that's way too dark. It's still too dark. That looks so uncooked. It looks so uncooked. I need to like glaze it or something. What the hell? Why did it look raw as hell? Okay, that looks immediately a lot better. And then I'll add some of the new pieces because I think they'll give a good crunchy texture. If I do this and just like, this is our like cooked texture, I guess. Just looks hairy. Oh, that's disgusting. I don't want hairy chicken. Never mind. I'm just gonna get these like glow pieces, scale it way down, just gonna plop them everywhere they need to be. It still doesn't look right, it just looks bloody. Okay, if I make it more saturated, turn down the hue slightly. I don't know, they usually have like seasoning shit on them, right? Is there like a speckled... Okay, if I do this and just make it black and scale it down, will that kind of look like the speckled black shit you get on roast chicken? Okay, they stand out way too much. What I'll do is I'll put them on this and lower them. Kinda, they still look way too big. I'll do this sort of thing. Sure, you know what? This is probably the best we're gonna get it. And I actually cannot select this plate. I made the world's worst plate so bad you can't even touch it. All right, there we go. And now we've got a chicken on a plate. It looks so goofy. God damn. I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna copy paste this over here and then just change around spots of these like splotches. There we go. Whole different chicken. Whole different chicken. Although actually, I'm gonna flip it back the way it was. It still looks like it's missing something. I think it looks pretty decent, but it still looks bare. It needs a little bit of something else. Ooh, how about some like goblets? They shouldn't be too hard. I can just steal this design, take the little bulb from this. Yeah, nah, watch, this is gonna be magical. There we go. Look at that, beautiful. And I can have one for like each person that's like sitting at the table. Although these all look a little big, so I'm just gonna mass scale them down. There we go, that looks a lot more in proportion. I think that'll do it for the table. I'm worried that the roof kind of looks bare, but I don't know what else to add to it unless I like... No, I actually don't know what to add to it at all. But I think that the table looks awesome. I don't have to add like a bed or something here, and then this will be like a storage room here. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. All right, now that I've finished that, I think I'm gonna put in the hook list that's gonna go here. So it really shouldn't be too hard. What I'm gonna do is take probably one of these. I'm gonna move this over here, build helper it. These are in the way, so I think I'm gonna grab this and put it on a different layer. I'm gonna widen these up like crazy. That was not the right way to go about it. So this is our entranceway. And then what we need to do is add in the kind of iron bars that go in between them. So I think I'm gonna use my favorite color, 40. All right, I'll stretch this all the way out. I can add this that makes them squared off. And then I can add little triangles on them. And so this will raise up behind this, and hopefully that'll give off a really cool effect. So I'm gonna give this all group 206, and then I'm gonna go over to there, put it there. Now this will be all 203, and then this is all 205. Maybe from here, move 206, move Y60 over the course of 1.5 looks about right. So if I go here, you can't even see it. Why can't I see it? Uh-oh. Layering issues again. Layering issues have been my worst nightmare throughout all of this. Why is all of this mixed? Wait, this should be B3. What if it's B4? What is happening? Oh my god, there's another one here. Why was that there? Okay, that's way too fast. I'm gonna have this set 3, have it start off way earlier. That looks cool. The only other thing is that this is too tall. So I'm gonna bring this all up and I'll say this moves 50 instead. How does this look? Needs to start a lot sooner. Everything's also misaligned. That's not fun. There we go, this lines up a lot better. And then what I'll do is have another one here. I will build help this. It's gonna fuck with it a little bit, but it's fine. That works. I can kind of see it go off here, and it's really annoying me. What I might do is just expand this out ever so slightly so it kind of covers it a little bit. Doesn't quite cover it, but I think that does fine enough. All right, that should cover it. Doesn't. Does that cover it? Not quite. Still. What? Am I going crazy? I actually don't want to do that. You know what? I have an idea. What if I do this and have this side open? And then what I'm going to do is on a separate layer, grab this and then try and line it up. Okay, put this on group 142 and we'll see if this lines up. Ooh, almost. You can see the vision though. Oh my god. Kind of goes crazy. The only problem is this needs to be T1 for this to go over the top. That's pissing me off like crazy. Idea, what if add these to a new group and as the camera swings around, it just moves 5 that way. I think that fixes it actually. Final thing I'll do is add that there and that should add a lot more depth to it. All right, let's see how this looks. That looks pretty neat. I actually don't think I need these pieces at all. If I remove these, does anything change? I don't know. I'm going to start the start pause from a little further back and then just play it from here and then see how it looks. Okay, it looks pretty neat, but I don't think it needs this. I think what I'm going to do is just have this here. Let's see how this looks. Oh, it's so close to lining up. Like, just slightly didn't. I don't know why. It's like so close to lining up. Are you kidding me? Oh, it's still not aligned? What do you mean it's still not aligned? I genuinely feel like this is way more effort than it's worth. All right, please work. Yeah, kinda. Oh my god, it still needs to move over just like a touch. Okay, please line up, please. Yo, it lined up! Yo! Let's go! It lined up. This is so stupid. Not require that much effort to try and line it up. Anyways, I'm sick of this. Something I wanted to do is, now that I've built a new table, I can take this stupid little table and it's kind of, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of iconic. So I'm gonna put it all the way up here. I think I'm gonna grab like this, scale it up. It looks too blurry, hold up. Yep. All right, make this completely red. Yep, cool. Yep, add a big arrow, add a big arrow. Blurry arrow, I don't care. This is the circle of shame. This dinky table belongs in the circle of shame. You know what, that gets red as well. Circle of shame, terrible table. I don't know why I made it, it's dead to me. I'm going to remove this for now and add in this table. Except I'll fix up the table so it isn't as big. Actually, I'll copy it with all the chairs and stuff as well. I'll grab a chair from here and I'll grab a chair from here, flip them and warp them and do whatever the hell I need. Grab the candelabra. This is my backpacking gear. I'm taking this all the way over here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Okay, looks like all I gotta do is grab these, push them to like a stupid layer. So hopefully everything should be laid correctly now. Yay. The only thing I'll do is, I think I'll delete this chair actually. I'll grab this as well. I'll edit the lifetime so it's not as long and then give it bigger gravity. So now from the arrow, you know you have to go this way. Actually, I'll just make it so that you can go through the chair. Chair will have no hitbox, it's fine. And hopefully it should look a lot better. Oh my god, the glow up is insane. Let's go. Okay, this all looks so awesome now. I'm so happy, I'm so pleased. I think we're actually gonna leave it off at that. I've put in a couple of hours of work into this. We've chosen a name. Everything's looking great. I'm so happy with what I'm doing, especially in this area. This looks so nice. We finally added the portcullis I've been talking about adding. It's a little basic. I might change it up at some point in the future. For now, I think everything looks absolutely fine. The next thing I need to do is detail up this area and add in a lot more storage and barrels and sort of things into this area. I've got some more more ideas for what I should add over here, and I think I'll do them later. Now that we've also got some flag designs, what I want to do is animate them and then add the animated flag over top of this one, and then add these all throughout the level. So I think that'll be what I do in the next episode. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling me what you want me to change, what you like about it, what you don't. That would be great. I hope you guys like the name of the level now that I've changed it. It's Castle in the Clouds. Sounds pretty cool. I looked it up. There's basically no other levels that have that name. So I'll play the showcase once more. The song is copyrighted, so I'll put my own music over the top of it. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.